Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we have a very special guest today. Could you do me a favor and introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Adam, aka Fly Almonte Flores.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Gracias for dropping by, my
Uh
boy.
huh.
And I like to, get into like the whole story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if it's cool with you, can we start off in the beginning? How was your childhood?
Look, my childhood it was like this. I was born in 1975, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I hated gang members. You know what I'm saying? I hated them growing up. I hated. They just took. My dad wasn't from the hood or nothing, but he was, considered a cholo back then, a hardworking man, but at the same time, big pants, whatnot. I hated the fact that they would take him away from me. So I was like, I remember he would park the car and I'll be sitting in the car and he'll be doing his thing. He's a good man, but doing his thing as far as going in the little bush with the homies and shit, doing whatever they had to do.
Yeah.
So I grew up really really having animosity towards the gangster life. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll say like around 7 or 8 years old, I was like, man, what's up with this? But then where I'm from, EMF had such an effect on everyone because it was sprouting out everywhere. My neighbors were very beautiful women. At the time, they were teenage girls, and the homies used to go over there and kick it in the garage. And that's when I used to look as a little kid, like 7 years old, look like, damn, look at how deep all these fools are.
Yeah.
And that shit was vicious because that was something I had never seen besides on the TV.
Yeah.
You see the fucking movies back then, well, like some Boulevard Nights and what Duke of Real Christian plays. And I grew up in church, so I would see that across in the garage, and I'll be like, damn, these fools are deep. They look like savages.
Yeah.
And at the time, what I'm saying, mom and dad would be arguing, so I would be nosy and just looking around and just seeing what's happening. So that really sparked my mind on the gang activity, and I couldn't help but to see it because I would go to my grandma's. My grandma lived in the Klingermans. For those of you who really know about the gang issue, that's the projects of Amani. And at the time, it was in the 80s. It was like, man, it was a terrible place to live. And all you seen is EMF on every trash can. To this day, you do. It's always going to be active like that. But anyways, I was like, man, I couldn't escape the fact that EMF was all in front of my face.
Yeah.
So I grew up just seeing that all over the place. And my friends and whatnot growing up in Cogswell and outside of Almani. And there was always something that had to do with EMF. Their older brothers were getting, that was like in the time where NWA really started.
Yeah, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So we come from the rap generation because the older homies from the 70s, that was the oldies. Homie, fuck that shit. Don't listen to that shit. So it kicked it off like that. And I'm going to just let it be known. The first motherfuckers that started bumping and started, bumping in the car as far as like putting little systems was the Amayas. I'm going to kick it off like that. Toby, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in
Because
peace.
it was like, they were the first ones that were doing their thing as far as like making money the way it's done in the street and coming up and stuff like that. And so I just had to mention them because to me, it was like, man, these guys were like the ones that they put all that gangster shit on the map as far as like the rap generation. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
As far as like NWA, Big Daddy Kane, shit like that. That's the generation I come from because it's like, look how it is now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So growing up, so next thing you know, man, teenage years come, man, I'm active. Bam. I got active so much, they sent my ass to YA and never been locked up my whole life. Me and my Road Dog character, put it down like that, we hit YA together, so it was like...
So this is the first time ever being arrested? They sent you straight to YA?
First time, bro. First time as a little kid.
How old are you?
I was 14 years old.
14.
14 years old, bro. I was 14 years old, man. I got locked up in YA for some shit that, honestly, I didn't even really do. But at the time, it's a 100-pack crowd. So it was like, man, if I was asleep at home, the cops were going to gaffle you regardless because you're from there. They're going to try to put everyone away that had to do with EMF. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was basically I was framed, but whatnot. So I said, fuck it. I didn't give a fuck as a little kid. You know what I'm saying? Separated me from my family and whatnot. Man, it was pretty crazy because I just remember... I was getting sentenced to YA and everybody, all the homies already knew. They were like, man, you're going to go to YA. You're going to do years. I was like, man, like what, I was like, I care less. I guess that's part of the gangster life in my mind. So I was ready for it,
So before we go further,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
now in my generation, like you cats had already been a YA,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So I was already laced up on what YA was.
Yeah.
I know there was homies in the 80s that were in YA, but I'm
Yeah.
not sure if we were as deep. Were you guys already laced up on that shit? Like, oh yeah,
No, YA. As soon as you hear YA, you already the homies will lace you up like it's gladiator school, bro. You're gonna have to gangbang to the fullest. There's gonna be head games, and you could be a good motherfucker. But if you fall into those
yeah,
head games,
yeah,
you end up being a motherfucker that just you done fucked up. It was back then it was considered your lever.
yeah.
Now I heard it's a green light or whatnot.
I said it was still level when I was there. Now
Oh,
it's yeah,
so it was like if you're level, like man, if you're level, you get treated like a prostitute, you know?
yeah. Damn. So you're 14 years old
Yeah.
and you get to SR.
Yeah.
Reception was way different than the halls. You know what I mean? So how did
Yeah.
it feel when you first got to reception? Like you're really in YA now.
Okay, but you got to remember we're 100 deep.
Yeah. Okay.
So I didn't give a
So
fuck.
all the homies got busted
Yeah,
together.
we were all in SR together. Everywhere you looked in every unit, you seen someone throwing up an F.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, damn, this is crazy. But I was the little homie, so I was like, man, I'm gonna lie, I was the youngest one out of the crowd back then. I was like one of the youngest little ones, and I said, fuck it, I'm gonna take this shit to the top. And
Yeah.
homies that are around to this day, they know Little Fly put that shit down like a motherfucker riding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So homies would be like, damn, this motherfucker's a fool. I was rushing fools on site and whatnot, and it was just like it was the thing to do. And you got to remember at that time it was like, man, we're kicking up dust for our generation. Like, man, you know, the
Yeah,
70s
yeah.
and all that. Yeah, you guys pumped it in us to be all about what we were. But if in YA, it was just a different, like, demeanor. Like, man, you really have to do what you have to do if you're hard with it. If you know what I'm saying? So that was my mission. That was our mission, you know?
Yeah. Hell yeah. So there's a gang of homies. So everybody's being
Yeah.
shipped off everywhere, right? Did
Yeah.
you know off the bat where you're going?
I was the youngest one. I didn't know nothing. I remember the homies would tell me, the older homies, they were my crowd, but they were like 4 or 5 years older than me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they would tell me, try to go to a drug program where we could all be together, because they're all getting shot to the drug programs. But they weren't happy. They caught on. They're like, nah, you motherfuckers are too deep, like 20 deep in each unit, you know, for the
Yeah.
drug program. You motherfuckers all just saying, yeah, so.
Was OH close open back then, or was that not?
You know what? I think it was, but everybody was getting shot to Basso and
Nellis?
Robles, and
Oh,
you
okay.
had to have really education on you. They had to see you as a proper person to go to Ventura.
Yeah.
You had to have some knowledge, like, you know what I'm saying. This guy's smart. We can get him a degree. That's a place to go. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So the homies weren't getting shot out there. It was like motherfuckers were writers. Like, man, shoot this motherfucker to Basso or some shit to Nellis. You know.
Yeah.
So I got lucky, bro, and I ended up going to Nellis and Whittier.
Yeah.
I got lucky, me and the homie, and I got lucky, and I was like, man, it's close by, it's in Whittier, you know, whatnot. I just remember calling up my mom when I touched down to that unit in Dallas when you're receiving, you know.
Truman.
Yeah, Truman, and I was like, man, mom, I got 7 years, and she was like, 7 years. She was like, gee, even like, this is your first time ever getting locked up and out PD and everything, you know.
Yeah.
I go, yeah, mom, I got 7 years. So I was like, man, me thinking I had to do all those 7 years, but little did I know, if I would have went with the program, I would have been out in 6 months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I didn't know anything. I was like, fuck, 7 years is 7 years for me.
Let's do it.
So I ended up maxing out that, you know what I'm saying? And now this was a trip for me, because at that time there's, in Amani, I'm not racial no more. I don't judge a book by its cover. You know, I'm a grown man that's going to love to see my son grow and whatnot. But I'm gonna tell you like this: in Amani, man, it was a very, very racial situation with other races and stuff like that. You know, so me growing up in Amani, it was like, damn, it was different to see. Well, all of a sudden I'm in Dallas and I'm seeing people saying, "What's up, Westside Hoover?" and all this, you know, just acting like, whoa, what's all this? Crips, Bloods, and I was so racial at the time. My mind was like, fuck you. They're just trying to come up and bump me and say, "What's up, SA?" But I would bomb on them. I would take flight on them, bro.
Yeah.
It was like, man, fuck you, motherfuckers. I ain't trying to shake your hand and shit, you know. So it was like that. But at the same time, it was like, man, years later, I ended up being cool with them motherfuckers. Like, as far as like not cool as road dogs, but when you're in lockup, you ain't got nobody to talk to. We used to just talk, you know what I'm saying? And that's when you find out, hey, these fools ain't that bad.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. You know what the trip is I think that's in life in general,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
in life in general, if you're not exposed to somebody, it's real easy to hate them. Yeah, but once you get exposed to them, you're like, dog, like, what the fuck was I tripping on? You know what I mean? Because, like, you're right. Like,
I still kept my boundaries because that was the rules.
Yeah, that's the way it is in there. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? You're in the lockdown. I was in this lockdown called Taft.
Yeah, Taft's a motherfucker.
Man, that shit was like a motherfucker.
Cold.
Back in the days, fucking prison was fucking open. We used to have to fish. We used to stick our hand out the window and we used to fish with the curtains with the sheets. It was just on some crazy shit. I remember our program was so interesting. We would look out the window and we would throw a ball. We had foil on it.
Yeah.
And we would look at that foil and wait for the owls to come by in the night.
Yeah.
They would see the sparkle. It was just some crazy shit. As a little kid, you're like, well, I'm a little kid still. You know what I'm saying? It was like, man, motherfucker would be in that cell all fucking day. I was in that lockdown, the ugly lockdown for like a year. You know?
Damn.
I was in there for a year, and as a little kid, I remember I was like, shit.
What year was this when you went to Taft?
All right, I got locked up in 90, and I got shot to Nellis in 90. So I was in Taft for like in 90.
90, okay.
91.
91.
Yeah.
So how was the program? Because when I was in Taft, when I first got to Nellis, when I first got to Taft, we were shackled everywhere we went, right? So motherfuckers seen each other, like I'm not like. They were on some fucking weird shit, because it's like, fuck, we gotta rush each other. Boom, headbutting each other, because we're shackled, you know what I mean? And then next time I went, they had cages. So we programmed in cages and shit. How was it for you guys during program time?
In program time, we would program together. We would get a...
So, but free though?
They're like 4 cells out, 4 or 5 people will watch TV. Back then, it was Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
We would watch that shit, and that shit was fucking... a cool ass program for us. We're like, damn, we gotta remember at that time we're still teenagers, so we'd be like, man, these fucking bitches are hot.
Yeah.
Motherfucker ain't seen no females and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, motherfuckers, young motherfucker, hormoned up.
Yeah,
so
like
I remember that shit was ugly. Like, damn, motherfucker, 1 hour out the day, and if you had beef with whoever you had, basically problems would start over fucking. We would be woofing at each other all day in the cell, fucking around. Sometimes shit would get serious. Be like, fuck you then, I'm gonna see your ass right now. You know, and that's how shit would crack. But as far as like enemy wise, shit, I'm gonna tell you right now, I was the only motherfucker from Florida's in there, and there was all kinds of fools from I didn't have no enemies in that lockdown. It was like fools from Bakersfield and Sureño stuff, and from Watts and black fools from Hoover, Swan, just a bunch of fools that you know what I'm saying, I could socialize with. Cause I was one of them motherfuckers, like, if you're my enemy, I ain't trying to talk to you and nothing. Yeah. There's homies that I ain't even put on blast. That motherfuckers be like, damn, they talk to the enemies, but that was them. I'm like, fuck you, I ain't talking to your ass, you know? Yeah. That was on that hardcore shit.
Yeah, cause when you're young, you don't know the difference. You know what I mean? You're like, I'm and especially in Nellis, you don't have to talk to your enemies. Yeah. Right? It's not like other spots where it's like, dog, these are the reglas. You can't get down like that. Like, nah, now
you gotta remember it's the heat of the moment when you're brainwashed. Boom.
Yeah, and you're young.
Yeah.
You're young.
Yeah,
so
it's the most dangerous time of your life.
Yeah.
Whatever you're brainwashed on, it sticks to your mind, and that's what's happening these days. These kids are brainwashed to thinking they gotta shoot and kill and everything on sight. As far as like, it's pretty ugly these days, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't even gotta be a gang member. This the mentality of being a bad person. Yeah. But that Nellis was a trip for me, bro. So I got out at 21 years old. I got out in 96.
Did you get out of Nellis or?
I got out of YTS.
So let's talk about that. How because YTS is a trip too, dog. YTS is at least for me, it was a little different than Nellis, because Nellis, like you said, is active. It's like you're rushing your enemigas, and YTS is more like we're kicking it off. And that shit kicks off. Well, for me back then, it would kick off like a motherfucker.
There would be riots and shit like that, right in the square area and stuff. But YTS was like, shit, I got to YTS, but I got to YTS with that Nellis mentality. Yeah. Talking on my door and shit. And motherfuckers ran me down like, nah, you got to be calm and shit. You get yourself a TV. But I didn't have no TV. I didn't have nobody looking out for me. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So I was just watching Arsenio Wall all day. Not Arsenio Hall, Arsenio Wall. You know, I didn't have no TV. Motherfucker was doing bad. But I'm glad because you know what? I loved my family. I didn't hold no grudges on them. They were doing bad at the time out there. So I was like more, I was more like, hey, fuck it, it is what it is, you
Yeah,
know.
you know what I always said, because
Yeah.
motherfuckers would clown a lot, right? They'd be
Yeah.
like, cricket, your family lives in Monte and you don't get no visits. But I
Yeah.
would tell them, hey, dog, it's
Yeah.
like this. If I wanted to see my familia, I would have been out there with them.
Yeah.
They didn't tell me to go to jail. I mean, that this is so I can't, like you said, you can't hold it against them.
Yeah.
And it kind of, like you said, it works out because you understand, like,
Yeah.
jail kind of sucks because you don't have shit coming, right? Where you see other vatos all balled out, like balling out.
But those are the motherfuckers to this day.
And they
end
keep
up in
going
jail
back.
still.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They keep going back
Yeah.
because their familia keeps taking care of them like that.
Yeah.
And they think it's a thing to do.
Yeah,
When
they don't.
when you're hard timing, you learn, like, this motherfucker
Fuck
sucks.
that, dog. Hell yeah.
So fucking, how was YTS?
YTS was like it was no dorms and it was all cells, right?
Yeah.
So you have your bunkie, whatnot. You get to choose your bunkie. They wouldn't mix you up with somebody that you didn't want to live with because you're gonna possibly be due to the age 21 or 25. So YTS was good 1 hour after day. What I liked about YTS is there was like a pile of weights in the yard, bro. You hit that yard. That's before they started taking all the weights everywhere. So you hit that yard. In the school, see where I messed up in YTS. If I would have had my mind straight and knew, like, damn, there was all these trades, welding,
Masonry, all that shit,
bro,
yeah.
everything. So that's where I like, damn, I could have been like five the trades under my belt right now. You know, that's the purpose of that.
Yeah.
But YTS was, basically you had the welding and all these classes. But if you have that gangbanging mentality, you're like, fuck that shit. You're in that cell all day. Shit, I was in that cell all day writing EMF on the paper all day.
Yeah.
So that's how convinced I was it was a hood thing, you know? So I didn't pay attention to all that shit that was in the school area. I was like, fuck this shit. I'm about to get out at the age of 21. It's on, you know?
My Theo would tell me that when he was in YTS, that they would shoot kites to take you to the fucking receiving.
Yeah.
To chunk them. Was that happening when you were there?
Shit. I remember we used to fight. The way we used to fight was in KP duty because they used to choose. Yeah, every unit has a kitchen, right?
Yeah.
So you get somebody that knows somebody from the kitchen to go help. So you'd be like, man, all right, it's on. We can do this. It was more of a, because you got to remember, these fools are coming from the county and shit.
Yeah, they're old motherfuckers.
Back on violations. So
Yeah.
they run you down like, check it out. It ain't like Nollis where you rush your enemy on sight. You get down with the motherfucker in the blinds, and that's what it is, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the mentality of me. I was learning, like, okay.
Was it hard to adjust to that? Because in Dallas, I know it's fucking rock and roll.
It was, because I was still seeing enemy, and I would fucking be like, homies would tell me, nah, don't do that shit, man. You fucking, I wouldn't rush them, but I would be like looking at them like, fuck you, it's on, you know?
Yeah.
You ain't shit, but the homies would run me down like, nah, you got to do that shit in the blinds now, fool, because you got motherfuckers that really ain't. It's all about that gangster shit, but at the same time, you getting ran down from motherfuckers that have been already on a violation in the county. Like, man, you gotta do right, you know, get away with that shit and handle it.
Yeah.
Don't catch time behind it.
Yeah. Y'all said homies that had been to the joint already too. Down there. Yeah. So they do things a little different. Well, yeah, I think that's what made YTS a trip. Like you said, you had homies like you that had just came from Dallas, so you wild as fuck. Then you had homies that came back from the county. You had homies that came down from the joint. You know, that came back from their for the shit that they did, and then they're back, and it's just like a mixture of just gangster ass fools of all kinds of different, you know what I mean, age differences.
Basically,
and shit.
YTS is just a place to be like in your jail cell watching TV and doing your time peacefully. But like I said, on my side, it was like, man, I didn't have no TV, so I was like, fuck, trying to get into something, you know.
So you go in at 14, you get out at 21.
Yeah, I get out at 21. So I basically looked at myself every day in the mirror and growed every little zit and everything. I would figure out like, damn, I'm getting a zit. Damn, I have to shave. Just looking at myself grow, bro, it's like, damn, that was a trip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, damn, I got out at 21 with a little bit of size, and I was like, man.
Yeah, because you had the weight, you said.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So it was like, I got out with a little bit of size at 21 years old, and I felt like a grown man. I was in a grown man's body, but still had that gangster mentality that you know, fucks your moves up in the street as far as like trying to succeed and shit. You know, you learn.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, I could have caught on a little bit. It took me a while to catch on. Like, man, you know what? Because I was really active with the F. The F thing is it F's up all day, you know. So it was like, but you know what I'm saying? Everything works its way out, bro.
How was everybody looking at you when you got out? Like, did you feel like,
man, I got out. I got out thinking it was still a teenage thing, hitting up the motherfucking Tasty Freeze and across the street from Armani High, bro.
That's it. I talked about that too, because I did the same thing, dog. And I was on the Vikla, thinking I'm all firme and shit. Like at the high school, and I'm 20 years old. I get out of YA at 20. Then I'm like, hell yeah. And I'm looking back, I'm like, dog, I'm tripping. What the fuck was I doing? And I'm like, I wasn't a grown man, but I was a young man, but I was a man. And that was a high school. Like, what was I doing? But it's like, at the time, everybody did that. Everybody that got out, and so you're like, fuck yeah, feed me.
You start knowing things that change when you see that girl that used to look pretty as fuck. No disrespect to the girls, they're all beautiful in certain ways. But you see that girl with like, damn, what happened to her? She has 4 kids now, and she's with that homie and that homie. I remember she was, you start seeing like, damn, what's up with this shit? And then you're like, fuck, I was gone for a little bit, you know?
Yeah. How was the reception like for the homies? Were they like, hell yeah? And how was it meeting the younger homies now? Because you got fools, you've been around for 7. It's crazy. The streets move fast, right? Yeah. So you have homies that have been around for 5 years, thinking they OGs and shit. Yeah. But it's like you've been busted for 7, so you've been busted the whole time they started banging and shit.
Nah, when I got out in '96, it was like, man. My parents were living on the side that I was brought up on the Baker side. I grew up on the Baker side, Baker school side, Cogswell and all that. And the little homies on that side were fucking good ass fools. Munchie, Moreno, whatnot, putting it down. Like, well, yeah, motherfucking riders, you know?
Yeah. Mo ended up in
that was my crowd. Basically, that's my crowd. They'll tell you, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, squad, they'll tell you, fucking, I was like Debo and shit, trying to punk a motherfucker. But I wouldn't try to punk them now. Them motherfuckers are big boys, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're all doing well too, and that's
they're.
Yeah, Mo and YA too. So you know what I mean, though, that's a motherfucker. Yeah. So you get out, you're doing your thing, and how long does it take for you to end up reoffending?
What do you mean?
Like catching another charge?
You know what? Shit, I caught a charge like 2 months after.
Damn.
I got caught with the gun. And I got caught with the gun, and I was like, "Fuck!" I didn't know what was gonna happen. I remember my dad went to go see me at the Monte police station. And he was like, man, they might try to put that 3 strikes law on you. But we ain't knowing that shit didn't have nothing to do with me because I got locked up as a young
juvenile,
kid.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck it. In my mind, I was like, fuck it, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready to be in prison all my life.
Damn.
Not knowing and shit. But I remember I had some motherfuckers school me down in my mind. He was in the court. We were on the court. And he was an older homie. I forgot his name. But I don't think he was from the hood. But he just seen a lot. But he told me, you know what, man? You still have a chance, bro. Don't fuck your shit up. You get caught with this gun, just take your little 90. Back then it was 90 days you get caught with the gun.
Yeah.
You didn't have no offense. So I did that 90 days, and I just basically I checked myself, bro. I just was doing shit a little bit smoother, you know.
Yeah.
So I to this day, thanks to God, I never entered back in the system, bro.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
Never. I never been to prison. I never, you know what I'm saying? I never touched back down to that shit. County little bullshit, you know.
Yeah.
But I never reprogrammed my mind into the institutions, bro.
Yeah.
I made it out here all this time, thanks to God. I'm gonna keep it real. I've been out here forever. I never been on parole. I never been on probation. That's right, fuck a pig. But as far as like, damn, man, I'm just glad I made it, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, because that's a trip, dog, because there's a lot of people...
Without snitching.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that keep going back, you know what I mean? And there are some people that shouldn't keep going back, because like you said, these motherfuckers be tallying and shit. It's like, dog, why you committing crimes, you know what I mean? You can't do it, like... Because, you know what's a trip, though, is you bring that up, and I, you know, it's crazy, because back in the day, what would cats say? 10 years, I'll do that shit standing on my head. And nowadays, fools get 10 years. Oh, fuck, I gotta point the finger. What do you think it is that changed, dog?
Well, look, I'm gonna speak on my generation. It's like, if you're my age and you have family already out here, so you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't do 10 years in a jail cell knowing that you're missing out on your daughter's prom and your son's first time driving a car.
Yeah.
That's what breaks it down for my generation. There's solid homies that are barely getting out after doing all these years, you know? And they missed out a lot in their family and stuff like that. That's what keeps us like, man, what the fuck am I doing? Because it's all about the family. If you have a family, you build a family, you say you end up getting locked up back and forth, you're hurting your son, you're hurting your daughter, because they love dad, they want to see dad. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Us growing up, we always wanted that family bond. So that's where it turns over on that situation. But as for a person that ain't got nothing going for himself and they just ending up in and out of jail, it's like they're putting themselves through that because they want it. Like I said, only we can stop the rain. Right?
Yeah. Is that what drove you to the streets? That you wanted that family that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, because when mom and dad would start yelling in the house and saying "fuck you" and all this other shit, I wasn't trying to hear that shit. Guess what? I'll end up in the park. We'll be like 50, 60 deep, smoking weed, smoking sherm, doing whatnot. That was my family bond. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it Florida's like, man. But at the same time, I was a little youngster, not really educated on the streets, because I was like, man, I grew up with the mom and dad and the sister and the dog and the cat and the household. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she went all bad as far as like arguments. You ain't trying to hear that shit as a little kid. You'll walk out like, man, my neighbor whatnot ended up being from the hood and all this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what intrigued my mind. Like, damn, hell yeah, when we could do this, you know?
Yeah, and I don't know how things are nowadays, but I know back in the day it was a trip because like you could be like, a lot of us were angry. A lot of us had a lot of anger in us, right? Yeah. So we would go off on each other on the streets like a motherfucker. We would volleying, "What's up, dog?" And next thing you know, homie's drunk. What on me? But it always tripped me out because homies would get down with each other. Then as long as you held your own, it was always love. You always shook hands at the end of it.
That's the way. That's what we put on the youngsters. That, hey, homie, get down and squash that shit after. Yeah. It don't go down like that no more, because it's like, shit, it's just hard to explain. Only the devil took over. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers. I heard situations, motherfuckers just blasting each other just because, like, fuck you and fuck you. Then, you know.
Yeah, that's fucked up thing.
That's
man.
The wickedness of the streets now. There's no more rules to the streets right now. You know what I'm saying? A homie will be like Florida's to the fullest, and if a homie comes up to him and says, you know what, hey homie, where you from? Homie, from you ain't from Florida's. Guess what? That youngster's gonna be fucking in his mind like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna dome that fool. I shoot that fool. It's not the same no more. Like, a homie can't take a little homie can't take. There's too much pride now on the street where little homie can't take
and that's whooping.
Don't jam me up like that. It's wicked, dog. These fools are on some wicked shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's like, it's a whole different scenario. It's more like in their mind, they're Florida's themselves. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're the gangsters themselves.
Oh shit, I didn't even think of that.
You know what I'm saying? They're the gangsters themselves. Don't fuck with me.
So I get what you're saying. So like when we were younger, like for me, I always thought
more unity.
I always thought I have the water on my stomach, so shit. So I always thought this is what I'm representing. It's bigger than me. Yeah. But you're saying like a lot of these cats are thinking they're bigger than anything. It's them. Yeah. That's fucking nuts, man.
It's crazy. It's wicked now. You know what I'm saying? Shit, you pick up that gun, you load it up, you learn how to shoot. You feel you're unstoppable. You get what I'm saying? And now you got this methamphetamine that's took over the street, and that shit takes these youngsters on a whole different 5-6 year bid. Like, whoa, out here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's hard for these youngsters out here because they get caught up quick, bro. Man, I know little homies that I have love for, and them motherfuckers have been down already 10, 15 years. Because the rules is like this: if you don't got a lawyer and you don't got family to support you, you gotta take that option of getting 10, 15 years. Yeah. Because if you don't, you're gonna get that 45. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's bad, bro.
It's bad. And it's a trip because when you go to YA. Like you kind of get lucky, right? Because I remember I went to YA, and when I got out, I'm like, hey, what happened to homie? What happened to homie? All that fool's doing all day. That fool got 20 years. And like you said, there's homies that I grew up with that had just got out, and like I like fucking shit. Like damn, if even if they would have went to YA, they'd have been out years ago. It's fucking nuts, man.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy out here. It's crazy in a way. Is like you just get lost out here. I see it's sad because you could be eating with your family and you see someone laying down on the floor right in front of you. You just step out of that Burger King, whatnot. It's like the homeless epidemic is like crazy. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. People are really giving up on themselves, bro. Yeah. I mean, I go downtown. I have a friend over there who owns his own business, and I go downtown and I just trip out. You know, I see all these people living in the street, and it's getting like that. Not only in downtown, it's getting like that everywhere, bro. Yeah. So it's like that alone. You don't want your kids to see that. But at the same time, if they do see that, you gotta school them down to the fullest. Like, look where this could take you, man. Yeah. You know, I tell my son, my son's name's Adam. I love him so much. I have a son named Frankie and a son named Duke. Like, man, I school them down. I let them know, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't try to be hard and shit. I tell my 14-year-old, don't fall into the crowd, bro.
Yeah.
Be your own self. Do what you got to do. He wears hats and stuff, you know, just like me. But at the same time, remember, if you have an active gang member, that's a description of fuck you, homie. Where the fuck you from, you know?
Yeah.
And I tell them, like, you know, just lay low and shit. Don't be trying to walk the streets, because these fuckers, they be on that shit and they don't know. They just want to dome someone.
Yeah. They don't know the difference, and plus they're fucking scrawny because they're all smoked out and shit, so they probably don't even got chunkums like that.
You just could imagine how many situations that you heard of if you Google innocent victims, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Damn, that's fucked up, man.
Some
Damn.
deep shit, bro.
What is it that I know you mentioned your kids? Is that what kept you away from going back to jail?
You know what? What kept me away from jail?
Yeah.
Is all those times I never had nothing in jail, bro.
Yeah.
All those lonely days. And you know what? I never cried in my jail cell. I always thought like fucking it was just the thing to do. So I would just be like, I remember I would look around and I would be like, fuck, bro, this ain't shit. There ain't shit in here for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I would always think about my freedom, bro.
Yeah.
And what kept me out is like, man, I love walking into a store, bro.
Yeah.
I love having all these options, not worrying about signing my sheet and having a sheet and worrying about buying a fucking top ramen for $1.
Yeah,
it's just
overpriced like a motherfucker.
No, bro, you really have to appreciate your freedom, bro.
Yeah.
I love my freedom, bro. You know what? After work, if my pockets ain't on fat, I'll still be like, fuck it. I'm gonna go to the Valley Mall, buy myself an ice cream, just walk around, and I'm cool, bro.
Yeah.
So that's I love my freedom. Having my freedom taken all those years as a youngster really sparked my mind to keep like, fuck, homie, there's way more besides being in the jail cell.
Yeah.
Cause I don't give a fuck how motherfuckers claim that, oh, I did this bid in Pelican Bay and I did this and I did this and I got locked down and when they're in that jail cell, bro, they wish they had the freedom of going to the store and walking in there and seeing a beautiful girl and talking to her, and I got that freedom, and I'm doing it for the homies that can't do it. You know, I got love for them. Hey, homie, shit happens, whatnot. I understand that, but at the same time, man, I'm living up a prisoner's dream.
Yeah. No, I agree, dog. I agree.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody, when you're free, right?
Yeah.
If I don't want to go to work, I don't have to go to work. I don't have to do anything I don't want to do out here. There's consequences to it, right? But I have to do it. If I want to go to the beach one day, I go to the beach. I could do whatever the fuck I want, right? But it's like when you're busted, you gotta not only go by the rules, but the staff tell you what and when you can't do. They open your doors. You know what I mean? You don't have keys. Yeah. We got keys to our houses. Yeah. We got keys to our cars. We got keys. You know what I mean?
That's
we can move.
That's
we
what
can
I tripped
move.
out on. I remember I forgot who I was telling, hey, you could be the hardest gangster you want on me, but you know damn well when you're in that prison, you're following the rules of the motherfucker time. You line up. Time to go back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you the badass in that yard. But at the end of the day, that motherfucker's still telling you, go in your cell. You know what I'm saying?
You can't even enjoy your food sometimes. It's like,
it's all
hurry
bad,
up.
Yeah,
it's like you got, a few minutes to eat.
It's
so
all
you're just,
bad.
Yeah. Man.
I mean, as you get older, you really have to start realizing what you're putting yourself through, you know?
Yeah. Damn, that's a trip, man. So let me ask you some questions about Nellis back in your days. Because I know it was different. So, how was there? Because when I was there, they had this thing called like Feed Marasa, right? And if you weren't Feed Marasa, you were leva, basically, right? Was there anything like that or was it just?
It was like, you know what I'm saying. If you're weak, you get spotted out real quick, you know.
Yeah.
As far as like shit, and when you're in that dorm and there's like what was it like 60? I remember like 65 bodies, everybody laid out in that dorm. And at the end of the night, there could be some head games going on. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't a solid motherfucker, you get your shit jacked. You know, get your shit jacked and fucking whatnot. So I remember being up in that dorm, and I was like, that was my first time, and I was like, I'm gonna tell you like this: my first time entering a dorm in Nellis, I had an enemy there from Vato Norwalk. At that time, it wasn't that hardcore enemy, but it was just an enemy. And I remember I was putting my stuff away in the locker. I rushed his ass. He was a big ass fool. His name was Stomper from Norwalk, big ass goon. I don't know if he's still alive to this day. But as soon as I did that, I earned my respect.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers like, damn, this little SA a motherfucking fool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They left me alone. So they already knew. Like, plus where I'm from, if you're from EMF, you're just solid. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're just solid. Like, damn. So that helped me a lot too, because my foundation was strong.
Yeah, they knew.
You know what I'm saying?
They
already
couldn't just.
knew. They already knew.
Yeah. What I always tell people about Nellis especially is I say, in Nellis there's a line. You mean the people you gotta set that line. I said you don't wait for somebody to cross that line. It's not like that. It's like, nah, if they approach that line, you take flight. I mean, because it's like no matter what, it's like, what homie, like. If you feel that they might be disrespecting or it could be looked at as they're disrespecting, you got to just take flight.
Well, you got to remember at that time we were a bunch of youngsters, so we're a bunch of disrespectful ass motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That's why you have your own car and whatnot. You only clown around with your own car.
Yeah.
Your own car was considered like 5 or 6 people that you kick it with, you know?
Yeah, you're
cool. You can clown around like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Play fuck you, fuck your fucking water. Just playing around the low though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was pretty crazy, bro, because you got to remember, I never had been locked up, so I was like, damn. Now this was a trip for me, bro. It was like, damn. It made me think like, damn, bro, this is it. This is the way it's going to be. And then, plus that movie, I remember that movie, American Me came on, bro. We went to go see it in the school area. And that shit pumped up a lot of fucking hype, because that shit really put down the story the way shit goes down, you know what I'm saying? And that movie really, I'm gonna tell you like this, it really like let motherfuckers know like the lifestyle that we have, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the mind of you want to get on, have a family, your mind is like, man, I want to stay in jail and be a fucking fool to the top. You know what I'm talking about? You want to be a big boy, a big homie and shit, whatnot. So it's like, man, you really got to shake out of that. Because to this day, bro, I have friends that I've known all my life in the gangster shit, and they can't shake their mind out of it.
Yeah.
But what ends up happening is they get caught up in a drug habit they can't shake, so that breaks your mind. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got a lot of good homies that passed away due to the drugs, you know? The drugs is evil, bro. The drugs will take you away from your family and put you in the corner in the street and just have you fucked off, you know?
That drugs and alcohol even too.
Yeah, alcohol is a gateway, bro.
Yeah, because my pops, he's from the neighborhood too. Yeah. And that fool drank. And
Who's your dad?
Cricket. Yeah.
Cricket. I probably used to both them as a little kid, because I know everybody, bro.
Yeah, we used to, back then, we used to live on, when I was a little kid, we lived on Maxon for a while, and then we lived on X-Line in the apartments, for a while. And then we moved out to the south side.
Oh,
that's
really?
That's why I ended up being swap meet, chilling out there and shit.
Yeah, I was like fucking 13 years old selling weed on Maxon. Maxon used to crack back in the day.
Yeah, but he passed away recently, or 2 years ago. And then Little Man, Little Man passed away.
Yeah.
Listo, he passed away all from cirrhosis. You know what I mean? So I just tripped out like, bro. Damn, like.
Alcohol is a fucking it's a down government. That's why I tripped out when this vaccine came out. Everybody's scared about that. But I was like, man, what do you mean, man? You don't want to get the vaccine, but you're letting the government take you out on some mission to drink beer. That's killing your ass alone. You know what I'm saying?
Even the food we consume, all that,
That's a government shot right there too. You know?
Yeah. Damn. So what are you up to now? What is it you're doing now?
Look, I've been working for 14 years solid, bro.
That's what's up.
14 years solid, bro. I ended up finding out that the food industry, working warehouse in the night, they pay out, bro. I remember when I started working, I worked at this one place. This was in 2006, when I really kept a steady job. Like I said, 14 years straight. And they started paying back in 2006. If you're making $14 or $15 an hour and you're making overtime, you're seeing $1,800 quick.
Yeah.
So that kept me out the hood. I moved out the hood and moved to South Hill, West Covina with my ex and whatnot, you know, and it's just like, damn, the money was coming in good. I was making dope boy money, you know what I'm saying? $1,800 in 2006. If you're making that money, it's like, man, that's dope boy money. You're doing something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what kept me out, bro. Like, shit. Like I said, 14 years solid, bro. Thanks to God, you know what I'm saying? Because I do believe in God and I pray every day, homie. Because you never know. You could be the goodest motherfucker, but tomorrow's not promised. You know what I'm saying? You could change your lane and do your program, but tomorrow is not promised. You could get taken out just for a flying screw, hitting the freeway, hitting your windshield, bro.
Yep. That's what I tell everybody. Like I think there's certain advantages. Yeah. Like, it's fucked up what we had to go through, but there's certain advantages we have because we went through them, right? Yeah. One of them is the fact that we know that tomorrow isn't promised. Yeah. We have a lot
of us don't know that, dog.
That's crazy.
We know that, but we fucking take so much of, like, we could say fuck you to our girl and say fuck you bitch and whatnot and leave and get all fucked up. And guess what? You can come home back to your family and be like, what happened? Oh, they died of a coronavirus.
Or something
some
happened.
shit. You
Yeah,
get
an
what I'm saying?
accident. They were on the freeway.
Yeah.
Something happened. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Damn. Yeah. I always keep that in the back of my mind, dog. Because I'm always like, I don't know if this is my last day, but I'm gonna make it count. You know what I mean? Like, I hope it's not. I hope I get to be an old ass man.
I try to live the life like this. Like, I'm trying to be cool with everyone, because at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure when you're in that ICU or wherever you are, you think about all the shit you did in your life. That's the story that I hear. Mm-hmm. So it's like, man, I want to be on a good peaceful journey. Don't get me wrong. I don't let nobody press up on me. Still, that's my writer mentality, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you like this. Never judge a book over its cover no more, bro. You get, man, in the morning I go to work, I tell everybody good morning. No matter what, it's always going to be a discouraging moment with someone else that when you're dealing with a lot of people, bro. So, like, in order to survive out here, you have to basically cut your circle short and just be about what your family wants you to be. Because there's going to be drama every day and situations going on in your mind, bro. The way I made it, it's like, bam. I just made it, bro. Like I said, I never been back to prison.
Yeah.
You know, man, I'm thankful for that, bro. Because it's like, homies that know me, they're like, damn, this motherfucker did it, man. He stayed out working.
Yeah.
Working really kept me doing good, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's good to work, but at the same time, there's so many people blowing up on their own businesses now. Yeah. You got to be your own entrepreneur.
Yes,
because
sir.
us as the brown people, we are so deep, bro, but we're so convinced about hating on each other. And it's always been like that. And until we figure it out and realize, like, hey, you know what? We're all the same race. We could get this, even if it's selling tortillas with our face on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree, dog. I think that is changing little by little. I do see I see it a little bit more where maybe because I'm in
You know what? The cartels hold the title, so it's like, in Mexico, everyone still kills each other. You know what I'm saying?
No, with that, I get it.
With that, it's like, it has to change over in a way, like, man. And it's, I don't know why, it's like, man, it's always been like I don't know, bro. Until we really figure it out, it's still going to stay the same because we're so deep down, we take advantage of that shit. Like, fuck him, fuck that. Even though it's our own race, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
there's always stipulations to having love for somebody.
You got all these rappers that are coming out with their own label and all that shit. But guess what? I'm not knocking you guys, you know what I'm saying? Hey, do what you do. If you feel like you need to rap about having an AK and shooting all day, then do what you do. But I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. Man, we gotta figure out another way. I had a deep conversation with some fool from Swan that I met probably like around a couple of months ago. He was a Swan blood, but I was locked up with his homies in YA, and I was talking to him, and I told him straight up, man, you motherfuckers got a gang of motherfuckers that are American icons now due to the rap situation.
Yeah.
Come on, you got motherfuckers posted on walls, Jay-Z and all these.
Yeah, easy.
How many Mexicans do you got doing that? How many Mexicans you could pass on the wall? Be like, damn, we still got we got Pancho Villa. But
the closest
love.
we get is like Selena.
Yeah, but it's all love. And this guy tells me, you know what? I'm gonna tell you like this. We may have all the talented on singing, but the one thing that we don't got that you guys got is building a family. Mexicans build families. Sick. That's why we're so deep.
Yeah.
And every race has their own little
their
thing
own,
they have.
Yeah, good qualities.
But that's us. The black people strive for unity in their family, and it's so hard because every black person that you meet, they didn't grow up with a father. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to do that for them still. But I had a conversation with a homie, and he was from Swan, and it was like he was just letting me know, like, damn, there's always something that another race wants us to strive for that really can't get. We really want our people to come up on the music business. Say we do, like, damn, who we got? Richie Valens, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's hard. And then we got like SPM, but everybody's against him on the same shit. Like, oh, fuck him, he's a rapist, he's what not. But you know what? That motherfucker did it. He's an entrepreneur for the generation now. Everyone says nigga this, nigga that. You can't help that. That's the generation that you couldn't stop a motherfucker for saying that. So now you can't stop a motherfucker for saying that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the generation flipped over, but it's like, man, it's crazy because we really do need to figure out a way to be like, man, we got this shit now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's our time to shine on the music.
No, I agree, because I've also had conversations with black homies and shit, and they always say like, because I not all of them, but like the ones I've talked to, because I've told them like, man, you fools come up, you guys got this and that, and they be like, yeah, but you guys got the unity, you guys got this, and I'll be like, well, we don't actually have a lot of unity, but then they bring up valid points that I ignore to see.
We can bond each other.
Yeah, and I just think that you're right. There has to be a way for us to take that and build on that. You know what I mean? Where it's like, yeah, we have the unity, because like you said, we have unity for the ones we fuck with.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's strong, but it's like the ones we don't fuck with, a lot of times there's excuses not to, like, I don't fuck with that fool because he says this or he uses this terminology.
I mean, it's not even only that, bro. I'm gonna break it down to you like this: real Mexicans and Chicanos, while Mexican Americans, us. I consider myself a Chicano.
Yeah, me too.
But it's not. I don't know if they use that term. They're more American Mexican, right?
I don't know. I use Chicano still to this day.
Okay, well, we do, but society now is different. So it's like Mexicans from Mexico and us, we're on a whole different vibe against each other. It's like, damn, it's ugly, because like to this day, like I work for a living, and sometimes they're like, it's animosity there, you know what I'm saying? And I put it on the table, bro. I'll let people know, like, you know what, we're the same race and everything. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy the way you guys feel about us, and at the same time, it's vale verga, fuck a cholo, it's like fuck a paisa, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It gets down ugly like that, but that's our own race, but we gotta figure out a way to be like, you know what? Let's do this together, bro.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, you're 100% right, dog, because if we do that, like you said, there's strength in numbers and there's strength in unity. Yeah. And if we branch out of the unity we just have within each other to, like you said, include the Paisas, Central Americans, and everybody else, and it'd be like, yeah, we can be a strong force.
We could be the example for human race to unite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Human race wants peace, wants to unite, and we're so deep. If we could really set the trend, and the government don't want that, but we could do that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unity is a strong thing. They look at all these programs of how they build these pyramids and everything, and I tell you, I don't think it was no laser. I think it was just unity. Unity, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I always agree, because I see that, and what I see is I see the pyramids that were built in Mexico and Central America and South America. And I think our people were smart motherfuckers, right? Yeah. And we forget that sometimes. We forget how brilliant we were. Like we were architects. Yeah. We were fucking artists. You know what I mean? We were philosophers. And we tend to forget that. You know what I mean? Like you said, we and I see it a lot more now. The entrepreneurship. I think that is the next step. I think there's more of us trying to do it, and I hope that we blow with that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
I gotta give it to our women. To our women, hold it down.
Oh yeah.
And they are beautiful mothers, man. They love their kids, and I got homegirls that back in the day, homegirls from Florida used to be deep. And they were all whatnot, sharing whatnot, but they're all strong ass moms now. And I gotta give props to all the moms that were raised up in Armani, California, because you know what? They take the title of being the strongest moms that I see.
Yeah, no, they do their thing. Yeah, they do their thing. Bro. Yeah, you'll see them fucking 4 or 5 kids, and all of them are clean.
Yeah,
I mean, it's clean, like,
working, and
all of
you
them
know
are,
what I'm saying?
They got food in their belly. Yeah.
Meals ain't nothing more beautiful than a homemade meal, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
That's right.
And if anyone wants to, like what kind of projects are you working on right now, G?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you like this. For those who know me on the hood shit, they always know motherfucking Adam always wanted to rap, bro.
Yeah.
In music, there's no boundary. You could be fucking 46, 56, 86, whatnot. Music is always gonna come to your mind, and you always wanna. If you have a gift for music, then you just have it. Like for me, I would love to put out a CD. I don't care whatnot, and download my own shit and have 10, 15 songs that'll just be in the hood forever. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, we'll make it happen.
That's what I would like for myself. For those who know me, they be like, man, every time we go somewhere, we go to a pub or whatnot, I don't give a fuck, homie. I act like I'm a motherfucking rap star because I'll take over the stage. And those of you who know me can vouch for me. This motherfucker gets on the mic.
Yeah. Well, that's something that we could definitely work on. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm down to help out the homies, dog. So
Hell yeah, I heard about you. I heard you good about you willing to help out a homie on some shit like that, you know?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. And before we wrap it up, is there anything else you wanted to say?
That's it, bro. Basically, you know what I'm saying? Just letting everybody know the only way to be a successful man is bounce from your circle and use your mind and love your family. And you know what? I'm gonna put number one priority, pray to God, straight up.
And with that, we out.
Peace.
Peace.